to the corner of my window, playing catch. I wonder, do they get tired? Good company, purring on my lap. Not a single worry to be had. Sunny side up, the only thing that's filling my brain. For now it's sunny side up. The reason that I get out of bed is to lay down again. Oh, I'll be with you in a sec. I just need a day off. Nothing in my place.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I came outside this morning to read a new book that I started. It's called Right Where You Left Me by Lana Vargas. I have been loving coming out here in the morning and just sitting, listening to music. We're going to have a cozy morning and I'm excited to bring you all along for that. Okay everyone, so I am back inside now. I'm probably speaking at normal volume. I get so nervous trying to vlog outside in my backyard because it feels like the fence is so thin, you know what I mean, like between me and my neighbors, and they're usually out there almost all the time, and so it gets a little awkward. But let me update y'all real quick because I have been getting through this book, and let me see, I ended on page 46 of this book and I have been loving it so far. This author, Lana Vargas, has truly a gift for just sucking you into the story right away when you first start reading. And to give you like a little premise of it, the main character grew up on this like really cozy beach town in California, really cute small town vibe. Fell in love with someone since high school, and we don't know exactly what happened there, what made them grow apart, but she ended up leaving to New York and starting her own life there. She's a writer and she's touring, like doing book signings and things, and she ended up getting booked to go back to her hometown. Of course, she ends up seeing her ex-boyfriend while she's there, and he's like running to get to her book signing, and basically he ends up roping her into coming over to the house that he's renovating that holds huge sentimental value for both of them. Forced proximity is just so good. Like all of that has already happened in just about 40 pages, and you're seeing her struggle with the fact that she has a boyfriend, okay, back home, who she very much loves, but now she's hella confused because she's having to deal with both of these feelings. It's so fun right now, and exactly the last book that I wanted to read before transitioning into fall books and just getting into that. And I'll give you a little bit of a haul later because I ended up going to Barnes and Noble. But right now it is 8 a.m. I tried to wake up early so I can spend time outside reading, and I feel like once summer's about to end, I notice that I start up that ritual or that habit for myself to just be outside again. And it's still pretty warm, but at least it's something that I can tolerate. Early morning and then late in the evening there's a nice breeze, so I'll probably go out there again and read some more. But today's a regular work day for me. I am a therapist and I work from home, so I am going to see my therapy clients later, and for now I'm gonna go ahead and make some breakfast and talk to you all through that. I'm gonna share one of my favorite PCOS friendly breakfasts that I love to make. It's my go-to. If there's any PCOS girlies out there, I'm gonna share that. Also, if you just think it's delicious, like go for it, you know, make it. I really needed like a restorative morning because I've been going through some really hard things with my family. And so I was talking to one of my best friends yesterday and she asked me, what are you gonna do to care for your heart, you know, after everything that you went through? And we asked each other that question, and so we both shared what we were gonna do to tend to our hearts last night, and also for me this morning. If I check in with how I'm feeling, I'm still feeling really sad about it. Since all these things just happened, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my heart and tending to my feelings, and I thought I would bring you all along for that. If you had a shitty day or a shitty weekend, a shitty couple of days, this is the kind of thing that happens after, right? When we're left with the aftermath of a lot of mess and we try to pick up the pieces and move forward. That's what my today is, trying to just pick up the pieces and move forward. And if you've ever felt that way with anything related to your family or friends or a partner, I hope that you find that relatable. I wish none of us had to go through something like this, but heartbreak comes in all shapes and forms. Grief comes in all shapes and forms. And being the oldest Mexican daughter in my family, grief is something that I've had to become very familiar with, unfortunately. With that role comes a lot of responsibility that's placed on you since you're very young. And you don't necessarily have to be the oldest to carry that burden. Sometimes it's the youngest who carries that burden. In my case, it's very much me as the oldest daughter. And it's something that I'm very proud of myself for working over the years to really set healthy boundaries and stumbling sometimes and not doing it the best, but trying to work to continue to do it and to take care of myself. Also, I'm a Virgo. I'm like hella reflective in the mornings and the evenings. So this is just me. I don't necessarily journal because my reflections are just with me. I tend to meditate a lot more. But part of those reflections are also knowing that a lot of the eldest in my families, they've died very young because of undiagnosed like medical, mental health issues, like a lot of things. And that's a cycle that I'm really trying to break for myself. And I realize only I can do that, because there are sometimes people, whether it be family members or friends, like there's just certain types of people that go about their lives not really considering another person's energy levels, another person's health. They're just unaware of the effects that they have. And only I can remove myself from those kinds of situations and take care of myself. And I'm really thankful for the found family, or for the chosen family that I have, that always encourages me to take care of myself and that truly take good care of my heart and that check up on me. And that's more than I can say for a lot of people that I'm blood related to. And that's okay. That's something that I think is hard in a Mexican household to wrap our mind around, because a lot of us were told that like family first, only family will ever be there for you. But that's not true. You know, sometimes it's the people that you're blood related to that hurt you the most. There's sometimes maybe abuse involved, like a lot of different things. And that's something that I've had to gradually accept, like take that good, disgusting medicine in gulps and in seasons. It hurts to try to come to a place of acceptance on that, because it's so far from the belief systems that I've been given. And so something that I've come to accept is that that can be true, but it's also meant for the people that you also choose in your life. Like even if you're related to someone, you have a choice in whether or not you want to be a part of that relationship, or how you want to be a part of that relationship to protect yourself and to care for yourself also. A cycle that I'm really proud of myself for breaking in my family is putting my medical and mental health first, like being self-aware enough to know when I need care, to make sure that I can care for myself and I can also care for those around me who are my community, who truly are doing the same, you know, and that we make each other better and that we challenge each other to be better. And I've realized that when I try to be my full self and that person with other people, whether we're blood related or not, like it could be friends, like some people do not want that, right? They may not want to be self-aware. They may not truly want to be challenged to be better. They just kind of want to be left to be who they are. And I'm learning that as painful as that is, whether that be a parent of mine, like whoever that may be, I continue to learn this important lesson, because it's one that you have to always enact. You know, you're going to go through life always encountering different people, and you have to be self-aware enough to know if those people are good for you, if they make your life better too, and if it's mutual. And I think the hardest is when you have this bond with your caregivers that's just generational. It runs so deep, you know, and to sever that bond is very painful, or to have that shift is very painful. That's something that can be extremely hard. And yeah, I just thought I would share my morning reflections with you all. This is what I tend to do in the morning or in the evenings. I'll just reflect on and check in on how I'm feeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and make breakfast now and have myself a nice slow morning. Let's go ahead and continue on with this video. Okay everyone, so I am here in my kitchen now, and we had to do a little rearranging, and it's currently 8:30 because normally me and my sister are just out here having breakfast together because she lives with me now, and so normally we just go about our routine together. But since I'm filming and I want to talk to you all, it's just me out here right now. So she's kindly having breakfast in her room so I can go ahead and film and chat with you all. Let me just walk you through what I'm using for one of my go-to breakfasts. And so I use like the Jimmy Dean turkey sausage patties, and I tend to do like 2 or 3 of those. We'll see what I'm feeling this morning. I also tend to track, that way I can let my nurse practitioner know like around what calorie intake I've been eating lately, and so that's all a part of like my PCOS care until I get into like a maintenance mode for myself. And so I'm also having blueberries, hard-boiled egg because they're just so much easier to prep and to have those ready, Philadelphia cream cheese, white cheddar that I've been using, it's from HEB. The artisanal cheddar is just so good. I love that one. And then I'm also having this Udi's plain bagel. I legit don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's just how I've been saying it since forever. I love these. I feel like it's really hard to find good gluten-free bread type things, but I love that brand. I try to stick to higher protein, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I consider that when I am making this breakfast. Okay, so let's pick out the movie. Let's see. I'm thinking we go with either Twitches or Coraline. I feel like those are the ones that I always start during the fall time. Like those are my initiators. I know fall is coming if I watch Twitches. So is this the first one? Yeah. Here we go. We are watching Twitches right now, and I'm so excited. This is how you know that I'm a millennial, the fact that I can do this with one hand. Boop. Alright. And because I'm not a total barbarian, let's go ahead and put this back. Sausage patties and bread in there. I tend to also cut them in halves. I'm gonna do that for 4 minutes, and then I'll continue for like 3 more minutes for the patties. Prayer. Okay, everyone, so breakfast has been made. I'm gonna go ahead and keep watching Twitches while I eat this. And usually what I end up doing in the morning is just tracking really quick, and a lot of the ingredients are just saved on my Fitbit app. The first thing I see is just this when I log onto the app, and I usually just go through and I log everything just to make sure that I'm getting enough protein throughout the day. I wanted to share this because this really does have a lot to do with my wellness routine for both my mental health, my physical health, because they're both so interconnected. Like what you do to one affects the other, and that's both like positively and negatively. And so having the right nourishing breakfast for my body is really important to care for my PCOS, because I have PCOS with insulin resistance, and I am so proud of myself because I have exited pre-diabetic range. Like a lot of my levels are in green, like I'm doing good. The other goal that I just have is to get like to a certain healthy weight that I've defined for myself. And I think when I was younger, I had a really warped sense of what that was, and the kind of goals that I had were just really unhealthy versus like the weight that me and my doctor have agreed to like is very healthy for me. My doctor specializes in this. She also has PCOS, and so this is something that she gets and she understands, which feels really nice. I actually had my appointment with her yesterday, and we talked about a lot of things. I asked her a question that I've been wondering for a while, and I love coming into our sessions and our meeting times with a journal or my notes app so I can jot down the things that she shares with me, or I can also jot down any questions that I have. And that's usually how I prep my own therapy clients if they're going in for a doctor's appointment, psychiatry appointment, whatever it may be, to first brainstorm questions that they have. And especially if you're Latina or a person of color, we are just not treated the same in healthcare. Like if we show up and we do that, we're usually given subpar services, or we're just not treated well or not given the things that maybe we would need. Because unfortunately, like even thinking of my culture, they're very much hospitality driven and care driven, and it's a very beautiful thing. But if you come from that culture and you're here in the States, and even if you've lived here your whole life, it's a hard reality to accept that, oh, I have to like fight to get services. And if you do enough digging, you finally find the right providers for yourself where you don't have to do that as much, but you still have to collaborate, and show up to the appointments and have questions and do your own research as well. So that is a lot of what I've learned. If I could say anything to like younger me, like who was 18, early 20s, I would say that like not every doctor is going to be like the shitty ones that you've had. And usually my rule of thumb is giving myself 1 to 3 sessions or appointments with a care provider to know if they're the right fit, because just going off of one meeting isn't enough. Like you need to give time to build a relationship with that care provider, because building a relationship, whether it be with a medical or mental health care provider, is what's going to make all the difference in you having a successful relationship. It's not just the knowledge that they have, it's building a relationship with them, because when you achieve that, if they suggest something to you, that's a lot easier to digest and to brainstorm and think through and feel through if you have a trust and you have that bond with them. A lot of the decisions that I've made, I would have never made if I didn't trust my care provider. She was the first one who really got me to sit with a lot of things that could be beneficial for me. And that all came because there was a trusting relationship that was built over the course of a couple sessions. I wouldn't have trusted that on the first session, but over the course of time, that trust was built. And that happens in therapy also. If you've never been and you've always wanted to do that or wondered what that would be like, truly give yourself at least 1 to 3 sessions with someone and let that build, collaborate, and come with questions. I wanted to talk about that because I feel like this is not like the guide that many of us are given growing up. Like, hey, this is what it's going to be like. Let me walk you through that. All those life skills and adulting skills that we're not always given. And so being the older sister that I am, I hope that hearing that is helpful and just kind of getting just some tidbits, like some life tips, advice that I wish that I would have been given, and that's just helped my 30s be honestly great, like really great. I love my 30s. A lot of the things that are happening outside of me that are more family related, that just truly has nothing to do with me and everything to do with people not wanting to be self-aware and to do what needs to be done to care for themselves so that we can all be in like these healthy relationships. But like I said, that's something that I've really wanted to prioritize for myself and be better at, you know, break that cycle in my family, and hopefully I can help others do the same or inspire others to do the same. I feel like my friendships are very much like that. Like my closest friends, we encourage each other, we challenge each other. Like there's some hard things that sometimes my friends have had me sit with, of like how much I should be helping or supporting loved ones, and I've needed that. Like my closest people, my husband, my sister, like they really challenge me on that, because unfortunately I grew up being made to be that person, and that's not healthy, you know, to always be the go-to person. I read this book that's called Breaking the Cycle, and I'll put it on here. I talked about it, I think, in a previous video, and I had a book club for it. I loved it. And there's this part of it that talks about how you are an ancestor in the making. Like, what are the cycles that you're going to be breaking? What are the gifts that you're going to be leaving? And I read another book that was like Tias and Primas, and I'll put that on here also. And I love this portion where it talked about like the matriarch in the family, how people need to watch out for those people because they tend to just tend to everyone else and not care for themselves. And there's a lot of really beautiful women in my family, like very self-sacrificial, who have cared for others who weren't their own family, you know, like chosen family as well, who have given so much. But in turn, I also grew up seeing that selflessness and realizing that there were moments where they also needed care. Like they needed someone to show up for them. They needed people to care for them and to not be selfish. That give and take, right? Of like, it should be mutual. And so that's something that I'm really, really setting boundaries with, because when those boundaries haven't existed in your family and you're one of the first to do something like that, it's really uncomfortable. It's really painful. But in the end, it's something that helps preserve your health and your life. And if no one's ever told you this before, I've had to say it to myself. Your destiny and your purpose in this life is not to only be this sacrificial person, you know, only ever giving to others. It should be mutual. And so sometimes at first that looks really messy. Like setting boundaries in my cultura and my culture looks really messy. We might raise our voice, you know, it might not sound really perfect the way that it sounds in self-help books that you read. And so it's important to remind yourself of that setting boundaries is messy shit. Like it's really messy with our families. Because we tend to dub some people as like the sacrificial people, you know, the people that work really hard, but you never see them. You never get emotional care from them. They're not present. Like their bodies may be present sometimes, but emotionally they're not very present. You know what I mean? You don't really get care from them, and they don't really allow themselves to get care from others either. They may not trust a lot of people. So there's a lot there, and I try to remind my own therapy clients of this, that us setting healthy boundaries with our families, with our loved ones, is messy shit. It does not look pretty all the time. Like there comes a point where you start to see the benefits of that, and there's other times where you don't, because truly people can only change if they want to change. I'm done eating my breakfast, so I'm gonna go ahead and start work right now. I have a lot of progress notes or therapy notes to type in, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some of that. So I'm gonna keep watching Twitches while I get some work done here in the living room.
No, hurry! We met at this party. Oh.
Hey everyone, so I just finished my work day. It is currently 6 p.m. and I am tired. I am so tired. I'm ready to just rest and watch some like spooky fall movies, like something. I don't know what I feel like watching yet, but I'm gonna put that on, and thankfully I have some leftovers. I ended up buying some barbacoa for breakfast. That's like my new favorite thing, especially during like period week, to like restore iron and all of that. And so I love getting barbacoa, and I have some leftovers. I'm gonna have that for dinner, actually, randomly, just to finish it off. So I'm gonna make myself some barbacoa tacos, and then I'm probably just gonna relax and read for the rest of the night, because I really want to finish the book that I'm reading because I'm loving it so far. It's such a good time. On to Twitches 2. Let's go watch the next movie.
"21 years later."
When you go into a romance, and like this book feels gonna just be a fun, good pages, a good one. Iris Kelly doesn't date, so I feel like it's gonna be really good. It also starts out in I think I was saying, because usually when I go to bookstore.
Buenos dias. Good morning. We've made it to the point in the work week where I am exhausted. I did not film the past couple of days because, oh man, it was just so busy. And I never film really during my work week because I don't have the bandwidth to film and to do the work that I do. But I'm picking up the vlog again. Today's Friday and it's another busy work day. I still have 3 therapy clients on Saturday, but that is like the end of the week. I don't typically work Saturdays, but once in a blue moon I do. And this just happens to be the work week where it's incredibly busy. I also have my book club tonight that I host, and I'm really excited for that. We've hit the point in the work week where also I have a little pile of dishes going and I need to run the dishwasher. So I think I'm just gonna make breakfast right now and put on some YouTube, and I'm not going to really be filming too much today. That way I can give myself the space to do that, but I want to check in. This is the reality. What it'd be like in the middle of the work week. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I am ready for some cozy weekend activities. I need it so bad. My little heart needs that. Hey y'all, so I just finished a therapy session with one of my clients, and so I'm out here in my backyard. I'm actually under my peach tree, which is crazy. Do y'all remember how little this was when I first planted it? It is huge now. So I'm gonna go ahead and have a little bit of coconut water, and I'm gonna go back in and have the rest of my snack. But kind of sounds like a storm is rolling in, so we'll see. If it starts to rain, I'll go back inside, but I'm just gonna chill here and drink this up, hear nature for a little bit. Just relax before I keep going and continue work. Can y'all hear the thunder? All right, let's go back inside. morning. We made it to the weekend. I may have slid it to the weekend, but I made it to the weekend. I still work today. Today's one of those Saturdays where I work, but just the fact that I made it to the weekend, I'm so happy. Like, once Saturday hits, I just feel alive. I just feel so happy right now. It is currently going to be 7 a.m. Me and my husband usually wake up really early every day, but also just on the weekends. Like, I'm just excited to wake up on weekends. And so right now I'm just gonna gradually wake up. First thing I do is usually drink water, and then I do some kind of cozy self-care activity. And I really have been wanting to continue to read Right Where You Left Me, so I'm going to keep reading that. Basically, where we are in the book right now, Camila, the main character, she's back in her hometown of Willow's Cove, and she is struggling because all of the people she left behind are just like hitting her in the face. Like, it's all just coming in waves at her, and she's realizing how much she missed out on when she left. And we're still gradually figuring out why she left, why her and the other main character, Julian, ended up breaking up, if they were so in love. You know, they were basically childhood sweethearts in a way. Since high school they grew up loving each other, so it's interesting to see. And I love how messy it is, the fact that she has a boyfriend who's honestly, like, on paper it seems like really great situation, loving relationship, and now she's confused as hell. I love the writing. Let me see if I can read you all a little page. Julian noticed goosebumps rise on my arms before I did. Are you cold? I have an extra jacket in my car. I'll be right back. He paced out of the gym before I could tell him not to go through the trouble, and as soon as he was out of sight, Taylor turned to me. So are you two together yet, or are you still in the denial phase about your feelings? I swallowed hard. I told you, we're just taking things slow. Honestly, I don't know if we'll ever get there. Her face was never capable of hiding her true feelings. We both know that's bullshit. He's already there. He's just waiting for you. So I'm gonna keep reading that for a little bit and chill before I start to just get ready and make breakfast. And yeah, I just thought I would share. I'm gonna get to reading now because am I even awake right now? I don't know. It's really early. Gosh, y'all are really going to town on these plants. Baby caterpillars are getting bigger. Done with sessions, and I'm cooking dinner right now.
Peeling back the layers of the part I've been playing for you. Used to be so easy. Now I get queasy when things start going wrong. And in this life we all know that the starting is the hardest part. Do you believe me, or even see me as I fall apart. You don't walk, you levitate. I tried my best to imitate, but it's hard to leave the ground when you're stuck.
Morning, everyone. We made it to Sunday. Me and my sister are getting ready to go to the gym in a little bit. I have my gym bag that I have here, and I've had this one for pretty much 2 years, I'd like to say, and it comes in handy because I can have my water bottle in here. I usually just hang my headphones off of here, and I have a towel, and there's like other compartments where I can keep things. It comes with a longer strap if I ever go hiking, and I've used it for that too. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that, and it's been really fun because I've been able to show my sister like how to do certain workouts and kind of like train her, even though I don't know what I'm doing. Like I kind of know because I've been working out for, I want to say, 8 years now, but I feel like I fell off of doing certain weightlifting exercises and I've gotten back on it. I would say, like, especially like starting this year, like relearning a lot of things and trying new things. So I'm excited to do that. I ended up logging my food this morning, and it just helps me know where I'm at and like the range. If I happen to miss a day, it's not a big deal. I feel like younger me was really fixated and just like really pressured myself to follow certain things like that, versus I think I have a healthier mindset now when it comes to just wanting to understand what I'm eating, how much I'm eating, and if I ever feel myself getting frustrated with having to track, I just take a little break and then come back to it. And right now, because of the goals that I have, I'm trying to look at where I'm at. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head out in a little bit.
I've never been to this part of town. Everyone's dressed up here, but
Hi everyone. So I have been reading. I've been reading a lot. Me and my sister have been just chilling here on the couch. I've been snuggled up here in this corner because honestly that's all I feel like doing. I don't feel like doing much of anything else right now. Part of me would like to go out to Barnes, but I feel like on Saturdays all I want to do is rest, and it's been really fun. Right now I'm on page 136 of this book, chapter 17. I feel like I am going to be binge reading this today and tomorrow.
You like pina colada, don't you?
I do.
It's either that or like marmalada or there's something.
No, I'm excited.
Works done.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I like that.
It tastes delish.
Okay.
My husband ordered boba. And it tastes so good.
Calling me out for my boba addiction.
Yeah. This is so good. I've never had a piña colada flavor boba, but it's really good. Okay, also I am finally going to decorate my little tea card section, and I never got around to it because it was such a busy work week. Like I said earlier, it was crazy, but I'm finally feeling it. I took a lot of time to rest earlier today, and so I am just ready to get these mugs out here and decorate that little area and decorate the couch. So let's go ahead and do that while I watch something spooky in the background. Card section. You guys, I finished. I can and I can't believe how quickly I read this, because I honestly, one, I just love this author. I've connected with her on TikTok and I think she's just a great human being, and so it always makes me excited to read any books that she puts out, and this book was so good. I definitely feel like I'm the type of person who factors in like the author and the writing. I'm definitely someone who does factor that in when I rate something, because if I love the author like as a person, as a human being, it really does change the way that I view the book itself. And versus there are other times where I may not know too much about an author, but I still love the writing in the book so much. But I feel like knowing things about an author really does help enhance that experience for me. And it's the same thing with like any kind of music artists or actors, like all kinds of things like that. And this book had me in a chokehold. I was just locked in and spent my mornings, my evenings reading everything, and it was so fun. It was a total of 261 pages, and I loved it because it was also dual POV, and you were going back in time from like high school to current age in adulthood. Definitely has a lot of like the Notebook, the Summer I Turned Pretty kind of vibe, and I love that. I love that I ended my summer reading with this book, and I'm really excited because on the back it said that there's going to be more in the series, and this is the first one in that, and I'm definitely going to eat it up whenever more of the books come out, but I'm so happy. Okay, so I have a book haul for you all because I ended up going to Barnes at the beginning of the week, and I have just been feeling like wanting to read all of the fun fall spooky books, and I'm really in like a binge reading type mood, which hasn't happened in a long time, and I feel those feelings coming back to me, so I'm excited to share the books that I ended up picking out with you all. And I got 3, so I'm really excited. So this is the first book that I ended up picking out. It's the Grimar Grammar School Parent-Teacher Association by Caitlin Rozakis. And look at this. Isn't this so pretty? I love that there's so many cool book versions out now that have like sprayed edges. I feel like that's really, really pretty. And just so fun. It's just a fun little thing that they're doing for books now. I feel like it used to only be like special editions, and now we're seeing it a lot more. I love this cover. Like when I saw this, I was like, yep, you're coming home with me. This looks so cute. I'm just gonna read you the synopsis. Whoa, I cannot speak. As you can see, I'm still recovering from my work week. I'm going to read you all the synopsis. Tom Holt says, Harry Potter meets Gilmore Girls. Seriously, what's not to like? When Vivian's kindergartner Aria gets bitten by a werewolf, she is rapidly inducted into the hidden community of magical schools. Reeling from their sudden move, Vivian finds herself having to pick the right sacrificial dagger for Aria, keep stocked up on chew toys, and play PTA politics with sirens and chthonic nymphs and people who literally can set her hair on fire. As Vivian careens from hellhounds in the school corridors to demons at the talent show, she races to keep up with all the arcane secrets of her new society. Shops only accessible by magical portal, the brutal trials to enter high school, and the internal inferno that is the parents' WhatsApp group. And looming over everything is a prophecy of doom that sounds suspiciously, oh my gosh, suspiciously like it's about Aria. Vivian might be facing the end of days just as soon as she can get her daughter dressed and out the door. I've never read anything with a mom being the main character. Actually, no, I take that back. I did end up reading a thriller book that one of my friends sent me, and mom was the main character. I hardly tend to read books where moms are the main character, and I think it's because I'm not really too interested. I love reading books where I can kind of see myself in the characters, or characters that are around my age or maybe even younger. But the premise of this just sounded so fun, and even if it's not, I want to give myself a chance to try to read some different kinds of stories. I'm in that kind of mood. I think before, because I could only read so many books at one time, I would consider myself a slower paced reader. It would take me a little bit longer to read, and I would still consider myself slower paced compared to other people. I would just be really like critical and intentional about the books that I would select, because I knew that I only had so much mind space. I didn't want to waste on a book that I might not like. I'll just be like, I'll just DNF and read another book if I want to, or I might just keep going. I don't know. But telling y'all, medication be medicationing, because apparently I have a lot more energy. I have a lot more capacity. The window of tolerance be just opening up and is at a different level, which is just great. That's amazing. I love that for me. I'm excited to just see what I think of this. And if not, it will go into my little free library for someone else to enjoy. But that is that book. And then moving on, I also ended up getting this book, Deja Brew. So I've tried reading one of the other books by this author, and it was hard for me to get into it. And I love like the premise of it. Like when I read the back of the other book, I was like, amazing. This sounds like everything that I would love. Halloween Town, yes. But I think like the writing itself, I struggled to kind of get into, really push myself to keep trying to read it because I loved what the story was about. But I wanted to give the author another try because this book, again, it looks really cute. And worst case scenario, if I don't love it or it's just not for me, I'll put in the little free library. Oh no, it looks so cute. I am a sucker for the cute covers. They will get me. And yeah, you just never know, because if it's an author's like debut novel, maybe the first one isn't the vibe, you know, but the next one will be, or maybe not, who knows. But I wanted to give myself a try. I'm feeling pretty experimental, as y'all can see. So it says, a little trouble can be a good thing, ... Ex-celebrity chef Serena Caraway has had the wackiest October ever. Her cooking powers are on the fritz. She failed to land a career-saving job, and she embarrassed herself at the town's Halloween party. Just before midnight, she makes a desperate wish for a second chance to fix her life. The next morning, Serena wakes up and realizes that she's repeating the entire pumpkin spice flavored month. Even sweeter, she runs into Gus Steersworth, whose magic leaves her spellbound. A former reality star, Gus moved to Freya Grove to rebuild his reputation and heal his broken heart. But his restless magic is tempting him to return to the spotlight, and his secret crush on Serena is making him want to try something dangerous, like fall in love again. When Serena realizes he can help her fix her powers, Gus makes her a deal. If she'll help decipher a mysterious cookbook in his collection, he'll help get her magical groove back. Every encounter offers a new adventure, from tasting menus and harvest mazes to a growing attraction that's taking on an irresistible enchantment of its own. But as the month winds down and the wish grows stronger, Serena and Gus have a decision to make. Will their second chance be their happy ever after ending, or a bittersweet memory? Okay, so second chance romance. This is one of those where I kind of blacked out when I was at Barnes. Like, you know, I was trying to read some of it and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I love what I've read so far, and I didn't read the second half of that, which sometimes is fine and sometimes backfires on me. But I love that this is a little second chance romance. Something about second chance romance is like, in real life, I'm like, no, that kind of stuff just wouldn't fly for me. But in a book, fictional romance, fun, I love that. I love being transported into different worlds and just having a fun time. So we'll see. I have high hopes. Now the next book I have extremely high hopes and expectations for, because I've read the first book and it's one of my favorite books ever. One of the first books that this author wrote. Oh my gosh, like that book was comfort. It was everything that I want in a book. And the author made a second book. Look at this cover. Are you kidding me? The colors, the artwork. So this is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sanghu Mandana, and I loved the first book. Like I said, it was everything. And so this book is a different like standalone, but it has the same kind of vibes, and that's all I want for fall. Let me read you all the back. It says, Serena Swan used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Also, it takes place in Britain. And something about that just immediately makes me feel cozy. So Serena Swan used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected her great aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead, lost most of her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her guild. Now she slightly reluctantly and just a bit grumpily helps Jasmine run an enchanted inn in Lancashire, where she deals with her quirky guests, shenanigans, tries to keep said talking fox in check, and longs for a future that seems lost to her. But then she finds out about an old spell that could hold the key to restoring her power. Enter Luke Larson. course. A handsome and icy magical historian who arrives on a dark autumn evening and just might know how to unlock the spell's secrets. I read this to my husband and he was like, of course, it had to be a dark autumn evening. Luke has absolutely no interest in getting involved in the madcap goings-on of the inn and is definitely not about to let a certain bewitching innkeeper past his walls. So no one is more surprised than he is when he agrees to help have I been saying Serena this whole time? Help Sarah with her spell. My bad. Help Sarah with her spell. Worse, he might actually be thawing. Running an inn, reclaiming lost magic, and staying one step ahead of the watchful Gild is a lot for anyone. But Sarah Swan is about to discover that she doesn't have to do it alone, and that the weird, wonderful family she's made might be the best magic of all. Okay, so one of my favorite things about the first book that this author wrote is the found family element. I love that in books. Just seeing how someone can live such a terrible life or even just go through something so difficult where maybe they don't have family that they're close to, and seeing them rebuild that and create that with other people that some might be blood, some might not be blood. I love that in books so much, and so I'm really excited to read this one. And so if you had to guess which one I was going to read first, which one do y'all think that I'm going to pick out? I'll give you a few seconds to think about that. I have to read this book next, and so this is the one. I'm going to go into this one because I'm riding this high of loving the last book that I read, and I want to keep going with something that I know I'm going to love. Like, this author can do no wrong. I want to read everything and anything that she's written. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. I hope it was a nice, cozy one for you all. It was for me too. Like, I really challenged myself to show up a little bit more in the vlogs and chat and talk, and I want to challenge myself to do that a little bit more in these vlogs, because I feel like for a long time I stopped being my chatty self in my vlogs, and I have personal reasons as to why that became really hard for me. And I'm definitely in the kind of place where I am really enjoying wanting to do that and to chat with you all, to chat about my day, my thoughts, like things that I'm enjoying, things that I'm not enjoying. Yeah, I'm excited for all of that, and I hope you all are too. Stay nice and cozy, everyone. Take the mental health breaks that you need. I need them too. This world can be really exhausting and tiring at times, and I love creating videos like this where it can remind me, it can remind us to take some time to slow down and to create little bits of magic, coziness in our everyday life, because we definitely have the power to create little moments like that, regardless if we're working with a big financial budget, a small financial budget, no financial budget. I feel like I've been through all kinds of seasons in my life, and I've always really tried to create little bits of coziness and magic where I could, and I hope this inspired you to do the same and to practice self-care in ways that feel good to you, that feel fun and exciting to you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.